You have a message. You want to share that message. You want it to be social, to go viral, and spread across the planet. But how do you get started? Tune into Amplify, featuring host Ken Rochon. This show is here to help you take that message and channel it through the most effective marketing techniques to not only be successful, but have a positive impact on the world. Tune in live
Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
and get amplified.
Hi, this is Andrea Adams-Miller, your executive producer of Amplified with Ken Rochon, and we have a really great show lined up for you today. Our guest today is Andrew Schlag. We'll be introducing him in a few moments, but first we wanted to give you a recourse of what was happening this last weekend. This last weekend, Ken Rochon and I, Dr. Andrea Adams-Miller, Dr. Ken Rochon, also known as Dr. Smiley. It's been almost a year now that we've had these extra PhDs. That'll be my second one. And I'm still forgetting to add the word doctor. Isn't that funny? Anyhow, we were in Key West for the Hero event. Hero is a really great, amazing event pulled together by Tim Mai. Tim Mai, the host of this, he is known as Giggles and Smiles. He was on with us for a cameo last Monday, showcasing how wonderful his event was going to be. We had 110 amazing people there, sponsors, speakers, the grand legends of real estate were there. And we have the pleasure today of having someone who's following in their footsteps, who soon will be an younger legend, starting his career at a much earlier age. So I also want to thank our sponsors. Our sponsors are Opus.finance, also Bees.social, the cryptocurrency and educational currency programs dedicated to giving you the experience that you deserve in crypto technology so that you have all the information you need. And as promised, there's Dr. Smiley himself here with us. He is just getting in after a really great week, as I said, in Key West. So of course, he's coming in probably fresh from getting up and around after seeing his family after being gone in that bright, beautiful sunshine, taking amazing pictures, as I said, of all the legends. We also want to thank our sponsors, the EMF Fix, for the necklaces that protect us from radiation and other energies that are toxic, and also mymakeuplady.com, Lynn Benavides, the Umbrella Syndicate, Perfect Publishing, The Red Carpet Connection, and of course, Voice America Influencers Channel. And as I was telling everyone, Ken, about the 4 legends that we got to meet, how amazing they were, with some extra bonuses like Chris Chrome, who we got to meet and experience, and of course, Sean Callaghy, where Ken and I and Barry Shore have all been on Raw and Unblinded, the television show that is about really how you show up in the world and how you portray who you are and influence people, which Dr. Smiley did an amazing job in that program. So Ken, do you want me to go ahead and introduce Andrew now? And you're on mute?
Yeah, lots of technical difficulties. Yes.
Well, we have beautiful, wonderful technical things that happen. Andrew and I were laughing because things were happening, but because both of us wear rose-colored glasses, we knew that everything would be magical and perfect no matter what. So our guest today, as I was saying, is Andrew Schlag. And Andrew, speaking of technical difficulties, I'm going to go ahead and bring you on because I am also having that right now. So it is one of those mornings where crazy fun things happen, but I will tell them what I know about you just from being with you and for you being a client of ours. So you have overcome an amazing amount of challenges in your life. And somewhere along the way, you were introduced to real estate and started learning how to create a different future for yourself. And then you decided that you were not only going to be a legend like the 4 legends we met this last week, Robert Allen, Dolph DeRoos, Russ Whitney, and Ron LeGrand, but you have well been on your way, and you have owned, managed, or flipped over 400 houses, and you were only 28 years old. So I'm so excited about the future that you have ahead of you. And what other things did you want to add about your bio that I didn't mention?
Well, thank you, Andrea and Ken, and hello. Absolutely. So a few things. I was 21 when I started in the real estate world and had the awesome privilege to meet Ron LeGrand, who you just mentioned, who introduced me to the world of real estate. And it absolutely changed my life. Been many ups and downs since then, which I'm sure we'll get more into. I began wholesaling real estate and then proceeded to grow a portfolio. And as you mentioned, have owned in the range of 400 houses, maybe more by now. I don't know, but kind of lost count a couple hundred ago. But we currently still buy about 50 a year, and have a rapidly growing real estate investment business. And I'm excited to get to share some amazing things with all of you today.
Well, thank you so much. Ken, I wanted to make sure your mic and everything is working. Are you all set?
All good.
All right, good.
So, Andrew, this will be a private joke between you and me, and obviously Andrea.
And
but me,
100 people, 100,000 million.
No, they won't know what we're talking about. But we're going to help them out after I say it. We're going to help them out. All right, Andrew?
Uh-oh. Don't embarrass me, brother.
Well, no, I would never do that, Andrew. Seriously, I would never do that. Especially because I like you. But even if I didn't like you, I wouldn't do it because it's not what the Keep Smiling movement's about.
Well, thank you.
So, me so happy that my technical difficulties seem to be behind me. You want to know?
Me so worried you were mute.
That is great.
This was given to me.
Yeah, tell that story, Ken, because that is amazing. It was such an honor to be with you for that.
So yeah, when I was driving back to Miami, I went and every time I see somebody, I give them a Keep Smiling card because they either deserve it because they're being happy or they need it because they're not, right? Because you're either living in joy and you should be rewarded and not punished. So keep smiling. Or you are having a bad day and you need an uplift. You need someone to say, remember, there's gratitude. Remember, there's people like Andrew and Aaron and me so happy that cause us to smile. And so I gave this to a cashier at a gas station where we just picked that place to fill up the car through Turo. Turo rented us a car. And I said, I have something for you. And I gave her the card. And she says, I have something for you. And she lifted up the cigarette dispenser and she reached under the cigarette dispenser and gave me this.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I have a feeling that card meant as much to her as this did to me, because it was a gesture of actually giving. It was a gesture of actually acknowledging you make a difference. So when you and Aaron, and by the way, Aaron is just, I haven't connected with you as much as I wish, but Aaron, good God, I tell him that me so sad he wasn't on this.
I just texted him. He says, do you urgently need me? I'm in the team meeting. I said, no, Ken is very sad right now. And so I'll tell everybody who Aaron is, if that's okay. Aaron is my brother and also my business partner in the real estate business. So we always joke, one of us is a smart one and one's the good looking one. We're still trying to figure out which is which.
How come you got both?
I don't know.
Hey, Andrew, I'm going to make an unreasonable request. And,
yes.
And Andrea knows what this means. I love you.
I love you, brother.
And I want my other brother on there too. So just tell him to come on for 5 minutes.
All right.
Fair enough. And there's a reason for that. You guys both touch my life, and you're on a show that is going out to 2.5 million people a year. And I want him to actually be acknowledged for the difference he made in my life.
Awesome. I will do.
Thank you. So we're going to talk a lot today, obviously, about your life. And we're going to give Aaron just a chance because he seems to be a person who's got it together, just like you. And he's a great father, and he cares about his kids. And we're going to take a deep dive into your life, but maybe a quick little, I guess, acknowledgement of what it is to have a brother that actually has your back, what it is to have a partner that you can always count on, right?
Absolutely. And
how you create abundance together. Because to flip 400 houses, how many years is that?
We are just crossing our 7th year in business.
So you said 50 houses a year minimum. So if you take that out, you're doing more than 50, obviously. Yeah. And that's like that book that Dolph wrote, 52 Houses in 52 Weeks. You do that every year.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
In 2015, the first full calendar year that we was in the house business, we purchased exactly 50 houses. And I must say, it's amazing. Now, I will tell you, a lot of the houses we do not inquire a huge rehab. We buy houses that do need rehab. We've done tons, countless rehabs. And we also done, as I mentioned, wholesales, where we do either nothing to the house or maybe take some junk out of it and sell it. And then we also do what I call the pretty house business, which I'm sure I'll share a little more about later on as well. But we do a little bit of all of that. But I will tell you, it's like the good book tells us, what is it? One can slay 10,000 and two 100,000. So I kind of put that to work in our lives. And I must say that having that in the real estate business is very, very special.
Yeah, I call it the variable shift. When you
Yes.
have the variable of only one. And it actually, I think it was Dave Van Hoos and Ray Perez, of all people, that had on their slideshow something about a partnership that one is one, but the right partner is 11.
Yes. Yes, they did. That was powerful.
Yes. And that's why this means so much to me, because as simple as this is, it actually means that that woman is alive.
Yes.
And it means that she's in gratitude. It also means that I made a difference to her, and this was her way of telling me, I want to make a difference for you. So she doesn't know that. And by the way, I regret, this is a regret, I didn't get her name and phone number to say, hey, you're on the show today because of what you did. So we're going to talk until Aaron gets on about, you're going to have to cover for Aaron now, right?
Absolutely.
So there's a couple aspects of this. So, the show is called Amplified, but life is in the middle. It's about amplifying a life you love for leaders that cause a difference in the world. So you're on the show, obviously, because you're teaching people how to have a life they love.
Yes.
Today, I'm breaking the rules. I usually wear my Amplified shirt. You know what the Amplified logo looks like, right?
I love it.
That's part of why I'm late, because I had to find that damn shirt. So I think Tim Mai hit it out of the ballpark when he has hero is someone that lives an amplified life.
Yes.
Because they decide to assume the role that they will inspire others. He also is showing that you're assuming the role that you will play at that level with others.
Have we told the folks what the hero stands for yet?
Would you be so kind?
Thank you. I was just getting ready to do it. Thank you. Perfect.
Absolutely. It is heart-driven entrepreneurs enriching others, something that we love to live out. The life of an entrepreneur can be sometimes run into difficulties, but it is the most rewarding thing ever. And I must say, having the opportunity to constantly enrich others' lives. Behind me, you'll see something special. And you'll often hear me talk about it, but these are my a very few actually, some of my favorite student testimonials and checks. And for example, this one right here is a police officer in my hometown where I lived for several years, asked to take me to coffee and figure out how in the world I was doing what I was doing. And, it was just special. I get a lot of people requesting things and I just felt I should say yes. So the police officer and I went to coffee one morning, and lo and behold, he got to asking me a few questions, and here we are a few months later, and he gets his first $7,000 check on his first real estate transaction. And it is really special. He sent a big, nice, long email about what a difference it would make it in his life. We have many others, 90,000 and 35,000, but I could share that. But that is my why and the opportunity to be able to enrich others' lives. It's really special.
Well, after this show, and not only because of this show, but after the show, there'll be many more. But the ones you picked are special because they stand out.
Yes, they are.
And if you had only one back there, and it drove you to change that person's life, you don't know what that person's life is going to do to change others. Remember the young man who's 18?
That one is 22.
Leo.
Well, no, but remember the one who was 18?
Oh, you're talking about
Leo
yes.
at that event.
Yes. Leo was, yes, absolutely.
And by the way, he texted me and he connected me and he emailed me for photos, and he is a champion in the making because he is all about the follow through. He's all about the gratitude. And do I sense there's an Aaron on the show? Is there?
Now,
It'll be a
Ken,
second before he can get on.
now you can truly say
Still
it, Ken.
muted, Aaron.
Me so happy.
I can definitely say it, huh? So,
Yeah,
do you
Aaron, take
recognize his
yourself off
background?
mute.
I do.
I said, me so happy to see you all.
So, Aaron, thank you for breaking away. I know you're not a big
Yes.
camera hog, and I know you're not a person that is desiring to be in Andrew's shoes to be the face of your company. But I wanted to say something to you. You're
Yes.
You're on the show. So
Okay.
Andrew's on the show because of Andrea. You're on the show because
All
of
right.
me.
Hey, you are awesome, brother.
And you know what's behind me, right?
I do. I'm a little envious right now. I'm like, I wish I had that screen behind me just so I could have these reminders. Right?
Well, you know what's more.
Positive,
You know what's more important that's behind me?
What's that, brother?
I see an arm peeking through the microphone.
Oh
love
man,
that.
look at that.
I love that.
So, yeah, you guys touched my heart, and that is a quick access to the show. This is a show about how you influence life, and you're doing it with the numbers, obviously. And the leadership is something I want to partner with you on, but your hearts are there.
Yes.
Your hearts are there. You're building community, you're building your family, and you're certainly building a life you love. Right?
Absolutely.
Appreciate that, Ken. Yes,
So,
absolutely, 100%.
Aaron, you can stay on as long as you want. I just wanted you to hear those words, and I wanted you to actually know that I love you.
That means a lot. And brother, I connected with you from day one. I know you know that. We had a blast, a lot of laughs together. And I love and appreciate you. And of course, we have that common bond with our sons. I know there's a lot to share there. But just just your light, your passion for humanity, and your passion for what you do, it inspired me, and it was amazing.
Well, thank you. In case you need to leave, I want to honor the fact that you have another meeting. And I did make a request, Andrew. Thank you for making that happen. All right. So I wanted you to actually share how important your sons are to you. Aaron.
Thank you. Thank you. Much love to you and Andrea both. I'm excited to continue getting to work with you guys. You guys are awesome.
Hey, when you do that, I thought you were my father. No, talk to your sons. I mean, me so want you to be a father right now.
Yes. Yeah. So as far as the importance for what I do, and in regards to what we're doing, as far as building a life that we're building, a big part of the importance of that is to instill in our sons, in my sons, my wife and I's sons, what work ethic is, what honesty is, what integrity is, and being able to lift yourself up by your own bootstraps. There's nothing more powerful than what's between here, and there's nothing more important than what's up there, right? And God. And so try to set those priorities in order. And I mean, today, right now, I've got my 7-year-old with me. He was sitting in our other meeting with
Is he
just
here?
Listening in, right? He is. He's actually out in the other office. I stepped out.
You know, he better be on this damn show. So
I know I tried to get him to, and my project manager's son showed up, and he's too distracted. He said, I'm busy, Dad. And I said, well, what can you say?
Why don't you tell your
So-
your two sons? Tell your two sons who they are to you and that you love them.
I will. I appreciate that, Ken.
No, do it now.
Definitely will. Oh, right now.
He
I'm
means
sorry.
on camera. Yeah.
You mean on camera?
Yeah.
Callan and Liam, I want you guys to know that Dad is really proud of you guys, and I hope to be able to instill some wisdom and light in your lives by the example that I lead. I know I can talk to you guys all day, but until you see it in my example and in my life, that's what speaks the loudest. And I just want you both to know that I love you as your dad, and later in life, probably as a friend as well. And so I just want you guys to know I love you.
And your dad's alive?
Yes, he is. He
Go
means
ahead.
the world to
So
me.
you told me something that meant a lot to me. So my dad's alive.
Yes.
And
Yes.
your dad taught you to live this life. So
100%.
if you're gonna share this with your dad, and Andrew, you're gonna get your opportunity. I'm letting Aaron do this because he's gonna exit stage left soon. Okay.
You are not hurting my feelings at all, brother.
Okay. So Aaron, I do want you to share this with your dad because he may have never heard it
I will.
at a level that you're telling it to the world. So
Understood.
share who your dad is to you.
My dad, Robert, he's a man that is faithful to God. He's faithful and consistent in his life and the life that he leads. He's a shining light, an exemplary example of integrity, honesty, love, faithfulness, And he led the life that I can hopefully achieve to live someday, which is, live everything he does is with his integrity in mind. He never compromises that. And I just want you to know, Dad, that I love you, and I'm so proud that you're my dad. And I'm so thankful for every day that I get to live, that I get to spend another day and pick up the phone and hear wisdom from you, even if it's just a "Hey, I love you," and some words that may be a little harsh. I know at the end of the day, it comes from love, and it is always taken with that. So I just want you to know I love you.
So thank you, Aaron, for being vulnerable. And you are going to get to
Yes.
exit stage left. I just wanted you on so that you hear my love for you.
Yes.
And I wanted to, this is an unordinary show. I promise you, this show is quite
I
different.
love it.
But we're doing this different because we were at a restaurant together and we realized that the miso goes lots of directions. So I know one of the things that you would want me to say miso to is miso proud.
Yes.
So miso proud.
I appreciate that.
Me so proud to have a friend like you, but me so proud that you have a brother and a partner like Andrew. Because without Andrew,
Yes.
there's no show today that exists as this does.
Yes.
So the most important part of the show I want you to actually address is that Andrew brought you here, and Andrew allowed you to share with your sons and your dad how important they are to you, because that's actually acknowledgement and gratitude. So
Yes.
in your final minute or two, because Andrew's going to take over the show for the rest of the hour,
Yes.
would you please tell who Andrew is to you?
Absolutely. And first off, me so happy that I get to be on your show, Ken. It's an honor. I have to put that in there. I said that when I got on earlier, and I was on mute, so I don't think you heard it. But I want to say, I texted Andrew actually earlier when we met, right, at the event we were at, the mastermind. And I said, thanks for encouraging me and pushing me to pull away from our day-to-day endeavors in business to drive out here, to fly out here and make these connections. I said, you can't put a number of value on the relationships that are built through things like that, right? And through the moments, whether it's me and you sitting down at a miso restaurant, right? Or whether it's just whatever it may be, right? But just the valuable connections there. And I want to say, Andrew, I love you, bro. And I'm proud of you as my baby brother, as my brother, as my friend, someone I look up to in business as well. Always inspire me, encouraging me to be better and be a better man, to be a better leader, to be better in our business. And I just want to let you know I'm proud of you. I appreciate you and I love you, bro. And excited to see what you're going to do for the world as you continue to grow and continue to inspire others. And I know it's already been great, and it's going to be nothing but greater from here on out.
So 2 quick things before you leave. One is I want Andrew to acknowledge that and also share how his partnership is affected by you. And then I have one more thing for you. Okay, go ahead, Andrew.
All right.
Yes, and thank you for that. And I would like to say regarding Aaron and our partnership, of course, we've had many ventures together over the years, but I must say this, our venture that started in 2014 when I found real estate, and immediately, I mean, there wasn't even a question in my mind that Aaron would be my partner in that venture. And so I want you to know, Aaron, I love you, bro. I appreciate what you do. And I know that the real estate would have would not been able to know the growth that we've known in that business or the connections that we've been able to field, or I've even been able to field, unless you were holding that business together back home while I often go away to network and grow. And I appreciate you pulling away, even though I know you felt you probably didn't have time, even just last week, but you do several times a year and go to these places to help network. I know that I love connecting, but I love even more when we're able to connect together, because we seems to be every time we're together cover 10 times as much ground as when I'm by myself.
11.
Thank you. 11 times. Yes. 1 + 1 is 11. I love that.
I love it.
Thank you for that.
Before you go, Aaron, I just want to say that I had heard through the grapevine just this morning that you're not a camera person. So I just want to say that, remember, when you bring your heart to the camera, it takes over whether you need to be there cognitively or any other way, because people can feel you. And when they feel you, they want to do business with you because they know that you bring the love to the care to the experience. And, you know, when you guys are flipping houses, and it's through love and care, what happens is you actually have an influx of all kinds of people that want to do business with you. So,
and I would like to add one more thing, if I could. Please. I must say, and I've been in several partnerships over the years, but knowing the partnership with my brother, knowing that Aaron is always there and always has my back. I've tended to be too trusting in my life at times. And I must say, having him there to not only cover my butt sometimes when I was too trusting of others, but also someone I could trust to always be there and cover is just absolutely amazing.
Well, good. And I want Aaron to hear this before he leaves. You know, being too trusting is punished, but it's also rewarded.
Yes.
And when it's rewarded, you
Yes.
show up, and you show up with vulnerability, and then things like this happen within 3 days. I mean, this is a
Yes.
show that is for the legends, and we're actually saying
Yes.
that you are future legends and you are people we believe in. Okay.
It means a lot.
So my request before you leave, Aaron, and this is the thing I wanted to share with you, is I want both of you to have your names on the bottom of a book that shows what partnership is, what abundance is, and what loyalty is. That's what I want. I want to see that in real estate. I want to see it in real estate. I want to see it in Keep Smiling, whatever it is. I want to see your names, because together you made the show come to be. I mean, this is a big deal. And
Absolutely. We
so-
will make it happen.
so we're going to go to break.
Yes, we will.
And Andrea is going to share our sponsors. And then Andrew, we're going to do deep dive. We're doing the flip, because we got Aaron on. We're doing the flip of.
They know how to do flips, that's for sure.
That's right. So we're doing the flip of a show. The flip of a show is, Andrew, you're going to share your story and a little bit of Aaron's, and then you're going to share the gold nuggets so that we can actually learn from you and also have people do business with you. All right.
I love it.
Awesome.
All right. We're going to break. Andrea.
Yes. Thanks, everyone. You've been listening to Amplified with Ken Rochon. That's Dr. Ken Rochon, Dr. Smiley, and I'm Dr. Andrea Adams-Miller, executive producer. And we want to thank Opus.finance, Bees.social, both cryptocurrency entities dedicated to giving you what you need to have financial literacy. We also want to thank Tim Mai with the Hero Coaches Summit for bringing us this excellent opportunity this last weekend and to deepen our relationship with Andrew Schlag and his brother Aaron. Voice America Influencers Channel, Perfect Publishing, the Umbrella Syndicate, The Red Carpet Connection, My EMF Fix.com, and mymakeuplady.com, Lynn Benavides. And we'll be back with you after these messages.
And we're clear.
All right, Andrew. So the first part of the show is typically your childhood to how you became a leader. We're going to expedite that obviously a bit because there is a feeling the audience obviously has that they're connected to you. So we're good there. But then we obviously want to go deep dive into what your future book would be like if you were to write a book like Dolph did or Robert Allen, of what it is to flip and what it is to create abundance in your life, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So that-
there's an ad there. There's a part of Andrew's story that is way deeper.
Yeah.
Andrew is a miracle that he's even alive.
So
15
Andrew,
seconds.
that is the part we're going first. So we're not going to miss that because that's the first part we're going to. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
This is Amplified. To reach the show today, please call 1-866-472-5795.
5795.
That's 1-866-472-5795.
795.
We also would love to hear from you via email to info@umbrellasyndicate.com. Now, back to Amplify.
All right. This is Ken Rochon on Voice America Influencer Channel. We bring people that are leaders that lead a life they love, and in this case, a miracle. So we're going to get back to Andrew. We did a flip on this show. We've never done the acknowledgement and gratitude at the beginning, but we had a missing brother that I was fondly falling for as a person that I call a brother as well. So Andrew, had you been sitting across me, maybe we would have had that connection, but I'm very grateful that Aaron was at the Me So Happy restaurant and had a Me So Happy experience. So we want to go to the part of the show that actually is the start. So that's the flip. So where were you born? What was your childhood like? And obviously there's a miracle in this that you'd like to share. So take your time and share the story.
Yes. So I'll share a little bit about it, and it's something I don't share probably as often as I should, because it's I love the great part, right? I love the part about the opportunities and the many deals we've done and the growth we've had and the lives that we're have the opportunity to have a hand and a part in changing.
May I cut in for a second?
Yes.
Share it as if you're listening.
So two
Share
things.
Thank you.
Yeah. Two things I will say. Number one, I was born in the early 90s, and I was born in Southern Illinois, and I was raised in a preacher's home, a minister's home. My dad pastored.
What city was that?
I was born and raised, well, I was raised in Belle Rive, Illinois. They didn't have a hospital, so I was born the town over. Belle Rive is a big city of 400 people. And I was raised in the country. The first several years of my life was my dad was a pig farmer, and that's what we raised up doing. In fact, my first haircut was to keep me from crying as a little bitty boy. I have pictures where I got my first haircut. They brought little baby pigs in for me to play with while I was getting my haircut. So that was how it started. And then as a young teenager and preteen, my brother and I's first business venture was raising feeder calves on the farm. Our dad let us build a fence out in the back on a piece of his 35 acres and begin selling feeder calves.
So not everyone knows what a feeder calf is. So please.
Yeah.
Talk.
So we would buy them as newborns, just a few days old, bottle feed them up until they were about half grown. And when they were about half grown, we would sell them but by the time all things were in, if we'd done it right, we would somewhere around 150% to double our money throughout the 6 to 8 months it took us to raise them to half grown.
Why is that important, Andrew?
So, excuse me, it was a first venture to where we wasn't working, all we worked in our dad's construction company, and we seen that. It was our first venture where we wasn't working for X dollars a day or X dollars an hour. If we done well, we got rewarded well. And if unfortunately, a calf got sick and died, we also experienced that loss. So it was very important for the mindset of business.
That is absolutely true. The question I was asking, but you did answer a question I should have asked, is why was that important to the people that were paying you?
Well, because I was providing them value. I was providing them something, saving them the time of growing the calf from its most vulnerable stage as a newborn to half grown, where you pretty well feed them and let them roam and grow them up and eat them.
Andrew, I have to say this, and I've never said this, and Andrea can actually attest to this. I've been doing this for 4 years or so, every single week, and I can't say I've ever heard a voice that sounds more like Dan Aykroyd.
That's awesome.
You could, if Dan needs you to step in as his voice man, you can. I
love that. That's awesome.
Because I'm hearing you in the Blues Brothers right now, bro.
Oh, that's awesome. That's too great.
And that's an Illinois movie too.
Well, I guess full circle, man. That's awesome.
All right, so we continue, but we also want to hear this miracle.
Yes. So a couple more things. So grown up, I'm doing construction, working high school. I graduated early. I turned 17 in the month of May. And I graduated in the month of June. And so I graduated right after my 17th birthday, had a head start. I was always a big dreamer. At the age of 14 and 15 and 16, in my goal book, I'd never been around people that encouraged you to write down goals. I didn't even know that was a thing. I just thought I made it up. And I started writing down that I wanted to change hundreds of thousands of people's lives. And then by the time I was 16, I decided I wanted to be millions of lives. And I had no clue how. I would, being raised in a preacher's home, I'd read books about, old time preachers that got to speak to thousands of people and different things. And so I just had a big dream. I knew I wanted to share and change.
Well, I have to cut in. If you knew how, that would be called your comfort zone.
That's
if you don't know how, that's called your uncomfortable zone.
Yes. So that was very true, Ken. Very true. So I'm definitely out of my comfort zone. And I started, as soon as I turned 18, I started doing a prison ministry. and began doing prison ministry. I was working in the construction business, in a family construction business. And so I was able to touch several hundreds of lives in the prison ministry, maybe thousands over the years. But I began to grow
with a ripple effect, Andrew, probably tens of thousands.
Yes, that would be very true. Very true. So that was a great honor and something I loved. But at the age of 19, I encountered some major health problems. And by the time I was 20, I was in, I believe it was July of 2012, I guess. I was laid up in ICU, and it didn't look like I was going to make it. My digestive system had shut down to 30%. My liver, they had me on a liver transplant list. If my memory serves me correctly, it was just a whirlwind of things that had happened in my body. And
any idea why?
My system had somehow been poisoned, and it was shutting down, and they didn't know what to do or what to give me. And so we began, I began my stronger belief in miracles then than ever before. And so I came out of that by some miracle. It was a Thursday night. They had me on the list. The next morning was going to fly me out of the Evansville, Indiana hospital to, I believe it's Indianapolis, where they had planned to do a liver transplant. And they come in Thursday night, and things had begun to take a small turn for the better. And the doctor looked at me and said, "Andrew, we're going to wait till at least a day or two to send you for that liver transplant, because it looks like things are suddenly getting better." And he, about a week and a half, I don't remember exact timeline, a little while later, they finally decided that I was well enough on the right track to be able to be sent home.
What do you attribute that turn for the better?
It was absolutely God. It was a miracle, 100%.
So may I interject?
Please do.
Without that happening, every single guest we've ever talked to has answered the same answer. And I'm going to give you that opportunity as well. Without that opportunity as a gift of having your life challenged and taken away, would you be who you are?
Absolutely not. It strengthened my belief in God, in miracles, in my faith, and made me realize that even as a 19 and 20 and 21-year-old, when many are just starting to, start partying hard, I realized that life can end at any time.
So you got like a maturity of 3 decades.
It changed me. It changed me in a big way. And I realized that whether I live, and not to be morbid, but whether I live 30 years on this earth, or whether I live, my grandmother just passed away. She was 97. Whether I live 97 years, it's really a short time to be able to make all the impact that we want to make.
Well, when I heard the number of flips you did, I'm no realtor, and being at that conference definitely awakened me of superstars and heroes, right?
Yes.
But I knew, for how young you are, that something must have happened that jolted you into being someone that is a machine and believes way beyond their comfort zone that anything is possible. And I'm curious what your chapter would be. We have, obviously, this, we have the book called A Dose of Hope.
Yes.
And because of your story, just that little bit you shared, you are certainly not only qualified, but you are probably going to change people's lives, because there are people that are either in your circumstance, heading to your circumstance, or know people in your circumstance that was in your circumstance. What would your chapter be called if it included the word smile in it?
Believe and never quit smiling, probably.
That's pretty good. I have something that just came to me.
Yes.
It's kind of like a play on liver, like,
It's going to be good.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like smile and be a liver.
I love this. Smile and be a liver. So that is awesome. And I will tell you something that did to me and for me is, obviously, if there's things we could change, we all would go back and change things,
Mhm.
obviously. But at the end of the day, when I look at the good, I guess God has a way of turning everything bad in our lives into tremendous opportunity if we just look for it. And by the age of 21, wasn't able, coming out of that, I thank God was doing well, but I still have heart issues and several underlying issues that just absolutely kept me from keeping up with the construction that only thing I ever known. And I'm thankful I know the construction knowledge I have. And love working. And may be an idiot, but I even loved installing roofs. Like, it was just fun. It was hard work, but it was fun. But I probably would have never begin to explore other opportunities in the way I did had I not encountered that hardship. And by the age of 21, I was looking for something every day. My doctor had told me, said, Andrew, it looks like it's time for you to go on disability. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm 21 years old. Like, thank God it's there. And it was an option for me. But I was like, I wanted to live more, to do more, and to have a huge impact. And I wasn't sure that settling for that was going to allow me to have the impact that I wanted to. And so I that's when I heard a radio ad, of all things, that says you can buy and sell houses with no money or credit. And I said,
Whose was that?
Perfect. It was Ron LeGrand.
Ron LeGrand. Okay, so here we go. We have a lot of show left, not a lot of time left. So we're going to be a little more poignant and intentional with the answers and the questions. Okay.
Excellent.
So, first question for you, and this is a modified rapid fire because we got so much to do. All right.
Yes.
So, flipping houses. Why is that important? And what are you solving, and what are you doing for people?
So we're doing three things when we flip a house. Number one, we're solving, in most cases, unless we're buying a bank-owned property, in most cases, we're solving the seller's problem. So I give you a 30-second example of each, if that's okay. Recently had a seller call us. They had encountered a horrible situation in their life, and they only had weeks left to live, like 12 to 16 weeks, it sounded like. And they called us and needed fast cash. We was able to provide that for them in under 30 days and get them on their way. They was not worried about getting top dollar. They was worried about cash in a few days because they needed it for their situation. So we provide it's an extreme situation of sellers, but we provide opportunities to help sellers by buying their houses. Number two, we frequently, when we work on a house, we'll take an ugly house and turn it to pretty. When we buy a house that doesn't need much work, then that doesn't apply. And then thirdly, we provide families, who want a nice home for their family, a home if we're flipping and selling it to them and they're getting a loan, or B, if we do a lot of lease option stuff. So many of our buyers are people who can't normally qualify for a loan. They've had a bankruptcy, a huge medical issue that ruined their credit or whatever. And we're putting them into a beautiful home when they couldn't otherwise get into one.
So I know the answer to this, but I want you to, I guess, share it for the audience.
Yes.
Why would someone need a publicist? Why would someone that flips houses need a publicist?
So if my whole goal was to flip 75 houses a year or 100 houses a year, I probably wouldn't. But my goal, it goes much deeper and much further than that. And I want to change many more lives. I've been coaching and mentoring people for between 3 and 4 years now of how to do what I do and how to change their life, not only their financial future, but their mindset. Mindset is the biggest thing of all. And to be able to reach more people with that message and offer the help to more people who need it.
So, we believe in you.
Absolutely.
And it takes two, right? It's believing that someone can change your life, but it's also the person believing that you are worthy of spending the time because you can change lives. And so I want to acknowledge you. You certainly are that person. You step up. And when I got to meet you first time at the restaurant, I got to say, I was very proud that I was in your company. So I know that you take care of people. And that's the part that I think a publicist does the most, is they publicize that you take care of people. And then when people Google you afterwards, because they can't Google you if they don't know you exist.
Yeah.
But once they Google you, they say, he takes care of people and there's proof he does. So the inspiration is he believes he can and he wants to, but the Google says he actually does.
Yes.
And that can 10x or more your business.
Right.
But more importantly, the right people are getting the publicity that actually deserve it so they can make the impact and everyone wins. No one has said I did business with the wrong person, and the person that's getting the publicity is getting the lion's share of the honor that they should get for having the integrity to deliver.
Yes.
So I wanted to I have a lot of questions, but we want to let's keep it to how was this event? What was your favorite part of the hero event, and how did Tim change your life with that event?
Yes. So I was, it had three huge impacts on me. Number one, I was amazed at Tim. Tim is an amazing person, a giving person.
Tim Mai.
Yes, Tim Mai. And Tim is a person who, I mean, I was just blown away at the amazingness that he was able to pull all the people together that he was. Such a powerful testament to relationship currency, to having.
Can I interject that it was actually one more thing on top of relationship currency, which I totally agree with you.
Please do.
It was his smile.
That's
everyone said his smile and his laugh was so
infectious.
Yes, infectious.
I'm going to correct that. It's his giggle. His laugh is this high-pitched giggle. It is so cute. I love it.
And by the way, Tim is going to be getting this show because of the impact he made, and just you. But I mean, I'm wearing his shirt.
Yeah.
And I thought that you only came for the shirt. Andrew, I was pretty sure. That was all right. So what were the other two things?
I do want to mention too that John Jackson, the MC and helping Tim, brought so many giggles to everybody's face, and then all the amazing other people there, Russ Whitney, Robert Allen, and Dolph DeRoos and Ken Von Loo, who, by the way, gave Andrew an unbelievable, gorgeous testimony.
Yes.
Actually, Ken, Andrew, will you share what he said? That I didn't know that about you, and so that was really cool.
Yes, he just had briefly shared, and it's something I actually share, so you can put it up as well, get the video. But he actually it just shared how that when I connected with him, I believe it was last December, so just a few months back when we met, we got to spend some time together, and he just shared the impact I'd had on his life when he found out my background. How we met was I had a little group. There was three of us, and we was each test presenting our information that we share with people. We was test presenting, like we was offering them to buy our information, and through those tests we kind of begin digging down into why we do it. And so I'd shared with him, and so he just shared the impact that it had on him. That was really special.
Awesome.
He teared up. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
and he would have been so impressed.
Yeah, it was powerful. So the other two things, Tim had such a huge impact, and just seeing what he did. The other two things would be, I would say, I gathered so much from Chris Crone, such a powerful, and as Andrea already mentioned, John Jackson, he's just great. He keeps us all smiling and laughing.
And no one can impersonate Tim better.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, he's so not PC. It was perfect.
So I would say that was amazing. But I would say Chris Crone, seeing him and his passion, his ability, and what he's doing to reach people was incredibly reminding to me of what can be done, and just helped me to continue pursuing the goals to reach people, to help people grow like he's doing.
And I have to interject, because this is a good segue. There's a gentleman named Roger Salam.
Yes.
And without Roger Salam, you're not on this show today.
Yes.
Okay. Without Roger Salam, we're not at that event today. Without Roger Salam, this shirt and the meaning of the shirt doesn't exist for us. So Roger Salam made the invite, but more importantly, he was emphatic that the talent be included.
Yeah.
Meaning Tim thought he had the talent he needed, and Roger says, no, you don't have them yet.
Yeah, I want to be specific with that, Ken. So Tim said, well, thank you for suggesting that I have this partnership between Ken and Andrea, but I already have a media team, and I already have a photographer, and I already have social media. And Roger said, but you don't have Ken and Andrea. And Tim took it on his word alone that he should bring us in. And we created that. We were able to be there. Ken had to change some things so that he could be there. We made it there. And the feedback we had was so beautiful.
Well, and
I'm so glad.
Andrew, let me bring this full circle to what my point is. You can flip houses.
Yeah.
But if you don't have Andrew and Aaron, you don't have the experience.
Very true.
Yeah, so that's the point. Because you're not just flipping houses, you're changing lives. You're not just changing lives. You actually are you want to be an impact for abundance and causing people to actually realize life can be enjoyed at a much higher level.
Yes. Now,
So,
I will also share right off of that is Robert Allen, the last day when he shared his experience of the car accident that he had and the home that had got caught up in the avalanche that he lost, and his wife really come very close to being killed in that situation. She was on her way there and it got stopped, or she would have been in there. And when he shared that and then began to share that his life changed and he was thankful for every breath and talked about being a giving, it was so powerful because it's something that I feel, but sometimes, in the busyness, it can be missed. And that's so important. One of the most important.
Well, we might have to cut you off because there's some other questions we got to ask for rapid fire, but you may have helped me improve my my suggestion for a chapter for you.
Yes.
Givers are better livers with smiles.
I love this. Love this. Givers are better livers. I love this.
So we've done a good job of giving shout outs. We've done a good job of taking a little bit, certainly a deep dive in your miracle story. What we'll do is we'll make sure your Dose of Hope book allows you to communicate how flipping houses and the technology, I call it, that you do so well causes you to be scalable to the degree you wish to be. So we have some questions that are more relevant to how you became who you are. And they are those fun questions, the trivia questions. Okay. You ready?
Awesome.
Okay. So we got a couple minutes to do all this. So let's make it really quick and sweet and powerful. So number one, what book changed your life, or books changed your life?
I must say there's probably 3 that have been a huge impact. Number 1, I must give credit to the Bible, of greatest book of all time. Number 2, I must say that it's hard to narrow it down to 3. Think and Grow Rich helped to change my mindset. But I'm gonna say number 3. It's one up for one. As soon as I heard the radio ad of Ron LeGrand, I got his book on flipping houses. I read it. It immediately led me into a whole lot more training. So that was powerful. But Donald Trump has a book, The Art of the Deal. And I read that book, and it helped transition my mind around business. Amazing.
Okay, you did better making that a quick answer, but you did good. You did gooder in telling us that it changed your life. So, all right, Andrea.
I want to know what song you played or jazzed you up and get you moving.
Oh, that's good. I honestly don't really have a specific song that I turn on to get me up and moving. I more thrive on inspirational quotes or books.
I guess there's going to be some hero song that comes out that's going to get you going.
Yes.
All right. So you seem like a movie guy. I'm not sure if that's true, but what movie or 2 movies inspire you?
I hate to say it, but I'm not a movie guy.
You look like a movie guy. You know why?
Why?
Because Dan Aykroyd. And by the way, you have an assignment. By the way,
yes.
I'm going to request that you watch Driving Miss Daisy, please.
Driving Miss Daisy.
Since you're not a movie guy, I promise you that will on some level enlighten you. Okay,
I do like the show White Collar, because in there Neil is constantly overcoming every single objective and problem. So not a movie guy, but maybe that's a good enough answer.
All right, well, we only have maybe time for one more question because you really messed up on these rapid fire.
All right, I'll speed it up. Next question.
Well, this one's easy. You can't make this.
You go on.
You can't make this last one long. So I'm going to tell you, this is why it's designed as the last question.
Awesome.
What quote do you live by? And you better not say, "Oh, I got 7 quotes."
One quote.
That's great. I have. If you don't care, you give me 10 seconds. I'm gonna look up my favorite quote of all.
You can do that. And while you're doing that, I thought for sure you're going to say, "Me so happy when I'm on Voice America with Ken Rochon." I thought that was going to be your quote.
I love that. So I will tell you, there has been 7 over the year. No, but there's been several quotes that I have grown to love. But I created this one. I don't think I stole it from anybody, and it has become my favorite quote of all. It says, "Love deeply, smile often, live fully, and always help others."
Mic drop. And by the way, I'll give you my mom's because you actually remind me of that. Look for the good in people and you always find it. So you are certainly a person worth amplifying. And I'm so glad that you are on the show. I'm so glad your brother is making a difference, not only in your life and your dream, but the people that they touch. All right. So you guys are awesome and you've been amplified. Andrea, take us out with their sponsors.
Andrew, what's your website real quick?
reiwithpurpose.com.
Thank you for not making that a long answer.
So much. Thank you so much, Opus Finance. Opus.finance, Bees.social, the Umbrella Syndicate, the Red Carpet Connection, Voice America Influencers Channel, MyMakeupLady.com, Lynn Benavides, My EMF Fix, the Red Carpet Connection, and the Umbrella Syndicate. And please keep in mind, always keep smiling, and the KeepSmilingMovement.com, the KeepSmilingMovement.com.
For Aaron and Andrew, Miso Amplified. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Andrew. You certainly have a life worth amplifying, and we love you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of Amplified. Be sure to join Ken Rochon
Again next Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time and 8 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Now, go get your message heard.